Hello, welcome back. This is Ty. Yes, this is the third video that I'm recording tonight. Um, Munchkin is sleeping sound, so I actually had an opportunity and I have to take advantage of that. So, anyway, this is the start of a series of how-to videos. And in the last video, we talked about the different components of a diaper. We have the protection, the absorption, and the containment. And that's the protection is the fleece liner, protect your child's skin. The absorption is, as it states, the part that absorbs. And then the containment, that's the part that protects the external environment from what goes on inside the diaper. And so I'm just going to show you how to make each of those. We're going to start with the liners because that is the easiest thing to make. Well, yeah, that's the easiest and the quickest. Hello, today we are going to make some cloth diaper liners out of a Walmart blanket. This is Mainstays blanket. Measures at 50 inches by 60 inches. Let's see if you can see that. All right, 50 inches by 60 inches. And it's just the microfiber fleece blanket. And let's get started. For materials, we will need our blanket, a ruler or straight edge of some sort, marking pencil or chalk, and either a rotary cutter with mat or a pair of scissors. I don't use the rotary cutter when my son is around because he's a toddler, so I will just be using the scissors. Our first step is to remove the thread from around the edge of the blanket. It's not necessary, but it's something that I prefer to do. And all you have to do is get it started with your scissors, and you can usually just figure out which direction it's going and you can just pull it and it will come right out all the way around the blanket. And just pull, pull, pull. It's really loose. Probably about halfway done now. Really quick. And you hear the munchkin in the background. And it's just all coming right off. This isn't necessary, but I prefer to not have to deal with them later. And so at this point there's a little knot, so I just go in and cut. You can use scissors, you can use snips, a seam ripper, whatever you have, but it doesn't make sense to pull out extra stuff when I already have the scissors here. Looks like I'm gonna have to go to the other side. I don't know what's going on here. Usually it just comes off all the way around. Alright, so next I will be folding this to cut oversized liners. My liners will come out to approximately 17 inches by 6 inches. And this will make 30 liners from one blanket. So, take your blanket, find your long side, which is 60 inches, and your short side, which is 50. And you will bring the 50-inch sides together. So you're going to fold it hamburger style, as the kids would say. And once I get that, so this is folded the short way. I don't know if you can see the numbers on my cutting mat, but this is folded in half, so this is 30 inches this way and 50 inches going that way. Now I'm going to take the fold and fold this into thirds. And it doesn't have to be perfect because, like I said, these are oversized. They're going to hang out of your child's diaper anyway, so you may want to trim it down a bit, but this is just the easy way to get it done. So take that, shake it out, line it up smooth. Okay. And now we have it's approximately 17 inches, somewhere between 16 and 17 inches by 30 inches. I'm sorry. Yeah, by 30 inches. And now the next step is to mark off your sections. So I'm just going to use my cutting mat. Sorry if the camera is getting shaky. My little helper is being a little too helpful over here. Uh-oh. All right, baby. Okay, so I'll be using the cutting mat to determine the size. If you don't have a cutting mat and you just have a ruler, just mark off on one end every 6 inches and then the other side every 6 inches, and then draw your line to meet. I'm, like I said, using my cutting mat, so 6 inches. I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna start from here, and I'll just mark it off. So that's the first one. Sir. Now you were doing just fine until Mama got started. Come on. All right, so we have that marked off. And now if you had a rotary cutter, you actually didn't even have to mark it off if you were using a rotary cutter. Just take it and cut. But I like to start cutting from the raw edge. I always save the fold because sometimes I decide not to use the whole blanket, and then I have that big piece at the end where I can do something else with. And you just cut along the lines and then cut inside the folds. And that'll give you 30 oversized liners. And that's that. And that'll give you 30 oversized diaper liners. Again, they're 6 inches wide by about 17 inches long, give or take. And the benefit of these is that they will keep your baby's skin dry. It wicks the moisture away from the skin and into the absorbent part of the diaper. This is not an insert, it's a liner. You still need something absorbent inside of the diaper. And it's also really easy to clean if your baby has a poop. And you just take it and either spray it, dunk and swish, or plop it off, depending on what type of diet your child is on at that time. So that's that. Now I'm going to show you how to fold for a newborn size or for a smaller diaper liner. These liners will be about 12 inches long, and you can cut them 4 or 5 inches wide. 4 inches is usually going to be plenty. So you'll just take your blanket, and instead of folding it hamburger style like we did last time, this time we're going to go hot dog style. So that's the long way. So we take the two 60-inch sides and line them up. All right, and once you get that done and lined up fairly smoothly, you're going to do the same thing again, folding in the same direction. So that's going to take your 50-inch and divide that into 4, which will give you about 12 and a half. But, you know, nothing's ever really perfect, so expect 12 inches. And now with this, you can fold it in half the other way. But and understand that first cut will probably be a little off. But for this size, if you cut them 4 inches wide by 12 inches long, this will give you, one blanket will give you 60 liners, which is more than enough. So you can keep it simple, make it easy on yourself, and don't even worry about that last part. And I'm going to use a different straight edge because the one I had just walked away in the hands of my toddler, my 1-year-old. And so I'm just going to take this and mark off, starting at the raw edge again. I'm going to mark off 4 inches this time. And so, again, if you don't have a cutting mat to use, you can just use your ruler, and I'll show you the old-fashioned way this time. Can you see that? Okay, so that's 4 inches, and I'll just put a little mark here every 4 inches. I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera. 12, 16, 20, 24, and 28. Then I go to the other side, do the same thing, mark every 4 inches, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. And then you line those up and mark it off. And that's all. Just mark off the length and cut it out. Cut on your folds and cut on your lines. And that's that. So that will give you 64 by 12, give or take, 4 inch by 12 inch liners, which is plenty big for a newborn. It'll probably be too long. These are also a good size if you're using an all-in-one or a pocket that already has a stay dry liner, but you just want something to catch the poop. This size will be more than enough for that as well. And there you are. Those are the 2 sizes that we made today. Thank you for coming to hang out with us for a bit, and we'll see you next time.